Have you ever read a sentence that just, well, sticks with you? Great writing can feel like straight-up magic. But here's the thing. It's not. It's actually a craft. And like any good craftsperson, a great writer has a toolbox. So today, let's pry that box open and take a look at the secret architecture that makes a sentence truly unforgettable.
All right, let's start with this sentence. She had many qualities. I mean, it's correct, right? It tells you something, technically, but does it make you feel anything? Nah, probably not. It's functional, but let's be honest, it's completely forgettable.
Okay, now compare that to this. Whoa, this isn't just a list of qualities, is it? It's a whole portrait painted with words. It's got rhythm, it's got complexity, it's got character. You don't just read a sentence like this, you kind of experience it. It's a whole universe in just a few lines.
So what's the deal here? What is the secret ingredient that turns a boring old statement into a piece of art that you remember?
Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not just about picking fancy words. It's all about the structure, the hidden blueprint hiding just beneath the surface. These are what we call syntactic stylistic devices, and they are, for sure, the secret tools every great writer uses to build meaning.
So, let's dig into that toolbox, shall we? First up, we're going to look at the tools of structure. These are the ones that create that really satisfying rhythm and a powerful sense of balance in a sentence.
Our first tool is called parallelism, and this is all about creating patterns. See, when a writer uses the exact same grammatical structure a couple of times in a row, it creates this powerful, predictable rhythm. It's just so pleasing to our ears, and it adds this real emotional weight to whatever they're talking about.
And here it is in action. Just look at that pattern. You've got a noun, the square, the verb, was, and an adjective, still. And then it's followed by the exact same structure. Noun, the house, verb, was, adjective, still. That perfect parallel structure really drives home that feeling of deep, total stillness. It's so simple, but wow, is it effective. Now, let's meet parallelism's very clever twin, chiasmus. This one also uses repetition, but with a twist. Instead of that simple A-B pattern, it flips the second half around, creating an A-B-B-A pattern. It basically sets up an expectation and then just flips it on its head, which really forces you to pay attention. Yeah, this slide really lays out the blueprint, doesn't it? You can see that clean A-B structure of parallelism right there on the left, but check out the chiasmus on the right. She would be what she appeared, A, B, and then boom, it flips. And she would appear, B, what she was, A. See that crisscross? It just creates this beautiful, memorable balance. Okay, next tray in the toolbox, tools for adding emphasis. These are the ones writers pull out when they really want to grab you by the collar and say, hey, pay attention, this part is important. You can think of them like the highlighters of sentence structure. So the most direct tool for emphasis is, of course, just good old-fashioned repetition. It is exactly what it sounds like. By repeating a key word or a phrase, a writer can signal some really strong emotion or just lock your focus right onto a central idea.
You can really feel the power of that here, can't you? The phrase, "it's for life," isn't just repeated. It almost becomes an incantation. Each time it's said, it builds on the last, and it conveys this absolute, unshakable conviction that a simple, one-time statement just never could.
All right, this next one is kind of fun. You know how we're all taught in school to not use and over and over again? Well, guess what? Great writers do it all the time on purpose. It's called polysyndeton. By deliberately repeating words like and or, they actually slow you down, forcing you to consider each thing in a list as its own separate, weighty item. Just listen to how that repeated and works here. Instead of all these qualities blurring together, each and acts like a little speed bump. It makes us pause and give real weight to amplitude of nature, and then to quicken free motions, and so on. Every single part of the description gets its own moment in the spotlight. It's brilliant.
Okay, time for our next set of tools. I like to think of these as the gas and brake pedals of a sentence. They give writers this really precise control over the pacing, letting them speed things up or slow things way down to create tension or just some elegant efficiency.
So first, we have ellipsis, and really it's just the art of leaving words out. Think of it as a precision tool for trimming the fat. If a word can be totally understood from the context, a writer can just snip it out to make the sentence tighter, faster, and way more focused.
Let's see it in action. Okay, this sentence is perfectly fine grammatically, but it's a little clunky, right? That last word,
them feels kind of redundant, doesn't it? We already know who we're talking about.
So the writer pulls out their tool, makes one quick, simple deletion,
And we get this. The final version is just sharper, it's more elegant, and it has a much better rhythm. That's the power of ellipsis, making a sentence better just by taking a single word away.
All right, for our final section, we're looking at the most playful tools in the whole box. These are for the writers who really like to have fun, to subvert our expectations, create surprise, and add a little flair by breaking the unwritten rules of sentence structure. So get this. Somewhere between 82 and 97% of all sentences in English follow a super predictable pattern. Subject, then verb, then object. You know, the cat sat on the mat. And because that order is so standard, any little change to it is immediately noticeable and really, really powerful.
This trick is called stylistic inversion. So instead of the standard subject-verb-object, the writer just flips it around. Notice how that little phrase, some fortnight after this, gets moved right to the front. This simple flip instantly makes the whole sentence feel more formal, more deliberate, more literary.
And finally, we have the rhetorical question. This is such a brilliant tool. It basically reshapes a statement into a question. But it's not asked to get an answer, it's used to make a point with a lot more emotional punch, often by letting us peek into a character's thoughts or by challenging us, the reader, directly.
So, I'll leave you with a final challenge. Now that you have these tools in your own toolbox, take a look at this famous line. Can you see the architecture at work here? That beautiful ABBA pattern? That, of course, is chiasmus. And here's the real secret. Once you start seeing this architecture, you can never unsee it. You'll find it absolutely everywhere, in the books, the speeches, and the songs that shape our world.